Hey guys, how's it going today? Jim here at the Paint PT. I'm out of town, but I'm still here with you guys, and I want to talk to you guys today about what I call the highest form of healing. And this is something I want to come back to. I've spoken to it before. I feel like it's the core practice or one of the core practices of how you should be handling what you're going through. Okay, whether it's some type of physical somatic complaint or some type of anxiety or depression or anything that's bothering you. Now, what I'm about to share with you guys is what I discovered myself for my own healing and when I was able to let go of all the other healing techniques and all the other modalities and treatments that I had been doing to help myself heal. I was able to get to the point where I could throw these things in the trash and start living from this new perspective. And with TMS, or what we call mind body syndrome, when there isn't anything actually wrong physically in the body, we can 100% do this because we don't have to worry about a physical issue. So, what is the highest form of healing? The highest form of healing is actually not trying to heal at all, not trying to treat what's occurring in you, not trying to fix what's happening in you, not trying to change anything. It's about this acceptance of what's coming up for you from a mental place that it's perfectly okay. It's fine. It's normal. It's actually good for you to feel this, good for this to be expressed in you. When you can understand that mind body disorders are coming from your brain and that the brain produces a reaction that occurs in your body, takes the place of pain in the form of pain or some somatic symptom or an uncomfortable emotion or even a bothersome, obtrusive thought. When we can realize that this is just an expression that's happening and we actually want it to play out instead of trying to stop it, this is what's called the highest form of healing. We're not treating this. We're letting it happen as a form of an expression or a reaction that needs to take place and flush itself out. So, and it's good for this to happen. So our mental intention is that our pain is actually good. These emotions are actually fine. The thoughts are okay. As long as we let them unfold without us trying to stop them. So treating something as pushing it away, that's a form of suppression. Talked about that. So the highest form of healing is not doing anything other than accepting that what's happening is normal and okay and that it needs to play itself out. You actually want your pain to unfold in you. You want to let it unfold because that expression that's coming from your brain, just like a stream that's carrying stuff downstream, will play itself out. It will unfold. So you have to come from this mental premise that there's nothing wrong with your symptoms. There's nothing wrong with your emotions. There's nothing wrong with these thoughts. Your experience should unfold as it unfolds. And all you need to do is be okay with that. If you're okay with your experience and you know you're fine, then these things work themselves out on their own. There's nothing for you to do. There's no healing. There's no treatment. It's just an expression of stress in your body. It's just an expression from your brain that we actually want to happen. That's the difference. We don't want it to stop. We want it to happen. We want it to play itself out. And once it does that, it goes away. So, this highest form of healing is holding the intention or the perception that what's happening is fine. It's okay. It's good, actually. We want it to happen. We want this process to unfold. It's the very opposite of what we do when we're trying to treat something. Even techniques such as relaxation training or breathing techniques that even I'm a fan of, those things are still treatments. And I even discovered that in myself that they definitely help, but they don't always get you to the finish line because they're short-term gaps, like taking a pill or getting a massage, or things that help just a little bit for a short period of time, but then the symptoms come back because we're still trying to make those symptoms go away or change ourselves. The change comes from the acceptance that what's happening is all right. Talked about this in other videos, is that acceptance leads to the change. And when it comes to mind-body disorders, it is 100% true. There's nothing going on in the body that is dangerous or damaging. It's all being created by the brain, which reflects in the body. So we want the brain to discharge this stuff. We want to let it come out of us, and we want to just be a witness to it, a mindful witness to this experience from a mental perception from your cortex that this is okay, this is good, that this is happening. So I call this neutralizing what's coming up. You're bringing a positive mindset to a negative experience. The negative experience is pain, somatic symptoms, comfortable emotions, negative thoughts. As you know, with math, it's very simple. Talked about this before. A negative and a positive neutralize. They cancel each other out. +1 and -1 equals 0. Now, if you're bringing a negative interpretation to your pain, thinking it's bad, or catastrophizing or worrying, you're getting a double negative. -1 and -1 equals -2. So you're actually making it worse. So it starts with your perception of what's happening, and this highest form of healing is perceiving that there's nothing wrong with what's happening. There's nothing wrong, and it's just an expression of stress. It's an expression from your brain. It could be an old expression from the past coming up now, being triggered. So whatever's coming up, let it come and let it go, as we talk about. Try not to treat it. Try not to change how you're looking at it. Try not to change your behaviors. You want to normalize things. You want to live normally, act normally, behave normally, exercise normally. Think about this normally. When you do that, it becomes okay. So I'm going to finish up by just talking how this works. When you think something is okay, that's a very real message in your brain to make it okay. You're sending a signal at the highest level that you're not bothered by this, that it's fine, it's not a problem. That message seeps into the limbic brain, and it eventually says, hey, look, I don't think this is a problem. I'm fine with this. The brain gets the message eventually, and it starts to quiet down. It gives you less of a reaction, less of an output. Okay, so when we're coming from the highest level of healing, it's this level that we're okay. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing to treat. That sends the strongest message in your brain to these unconscious parts of your brain that it can relax. It can stop giving this to you because you're not concerned by it one bit. You're not trying to fix it or treat it. If you're worried about it, think it's a problem, well, that's a real message again to your brain to say, look, that's a negative message that just amplifies the very thing you're trying to get rid of. So guys, let's see if you can access this highest form of healing. I want you to tap into it. It's the most direct, highest way to get better. The fastest way to get better is to drop this thought or thinking that there's a problem and that there isn't any problem at all. All right, reach out with questions. I know this is a 180-degree flip in the face of how we think about things, but I believe it to be true, and I've seen it play out in myself and others as well, that this is a fast, direct way of healing that bypasses work you have to do around anything that ails you. All right, guys, have a good one. Until next time, bye-bye.